Well, this is Mystic Games. Welcome back. So, today we're going to be talking about the Squirrel Clan, the Rat Clan, and the Eagle Clan. So these are a little bit different because we have finally a support clan and an economy clan that we haven't had in a while. The only other clan that's similar to the Squirrel Clan would be the Goat Clan, because they're kind of both support clans, and these guys are also focused on their economy. So this clan doesn't feast, but they gather ingredients and they have special meals that you can prepare. If you're on a team with the Rat Clan, on a team with the Squirrel Clan, you can actually gain benefits from these meals. They also have stoves instead of breweries where you can put your war chief, or you can put cooks. I think they're called cooks, right? Yeah, a cook. And they will produce happiness, and they'll be able to produce meals for you using ingredients that you have. The clan hoards greedily in anticipation of winter 2 months before it starts, and can count on a 30% increase in production during these periods. However, they have a harder time during winter, and they will consume more food and wood. So essentially, this clan is very much set up that you want to gain the advantage before winter comes, so when winter comes, you don't die. The issue is, early game, that can be somewhat more difficult, and then later in the game, it becomes more, easier to not worry about that, but that's pretty much the same for every clan. At 200 fame, you receive ingredients of each type by boat, and you increase your ingredient storage by 200. You can make meals for your allies. Effects are 50% less effective for your allies. You unlock gift routes at the trading post. At 500 fame, you gain fame based on your extra population compared to most of the populace of your opponents. Arrival of new villagers increases by 5% for every 100 fame. So at that point, you're looking at a 25% increase in arrival minimal, and it's going to go up from there. It doesn't have a cap on it, apparently. Most things do get some sort of cap. Their special thing is the roots of Yggdrasil, which is the world tree. The root is built, becomes Eldritch. At every 4 months, another controlled zone becomes Eldritch. Units in Eldritch zones benefit from periodical production bonuses. Enemies in these zones have a chance to pick a fight with their own kin. This relic is super cool. I really like this relic. I think it's very unique, and I like how it changes the look of the zone as well. Their unique trees is stockpiling. You gain +1 wood and +1 food for every 100, up to 10. This one is super good. And it gets rid of your building slot for food silos, and it goes really well with eradication as well, if you get these two together. Cooking mastery, meals have improved effects. Meals cost less by 20%. Your war chief's recruitment is free. Reviving your war chief cooldown is reduced by 50%. That's really good to get early on, because it essentially gives you a free war chief, and then you just have to worry about him dying. All crowns income is increased by 10%. You gain 4 crowns during meals, and all meals gain +2 happiness. And then you also increase your relationship with neutral factions over time. Allied neutral factions gain 20% defense against your enemies. All relations gains are improved by 100%. And you cook, and you have a stove, and you have cooks, and your war chief himself is a cook. So this faction's about supporting your allies, giving them, your meal bonuses, and then also giving yourself meal bonuses and developing your economy. Pretty much that's what they do. They're a very good support clan. They're fun. They're fun to switch out with Goat every once in a while. Next is Rat. Rat is an interesting clan because they have a unique mechanic where you overwork. There's a lot going on here. We're going to talk about these clans in a short overview like I've been doing, but they're generally, I would consider them more military based than developmental, because I have a hard time with the development of this clan and their economy because of how they function. But yeah, let's get into them. The clan has more villagers, but they arrive wounded. Wounded and military units do not count for happiness requirements. I will say though, if you heal all your units, it does count against your happiness. You have to be very careful about how many units you have healed, because it does negatively impact your happiness. The clan doesn't have access to houses, but all non-mystic buildings provide housing. Extra villagers wait in your population's reserve. You have a shaman's camp instead of the healer's hut. Each of your, essentially your special combat units, when he's standing still in your zone, will heal. That's the best way to realize the difference between that and a healer's hut. When the clan units kill foes or die, the corpses are cremated in the purification pyre at the shaman's camp. Essentially, it produces lore for you. And then instead of feasting, you can overwork your populace, which causes them to lose health, but they produce more. So that's a very unique mechanic. I don't use overwork a lot, and that's probably why I'm not fantastic with Clan of the Rat, because you have to learn how to balance overwork with healing, and yeah, just a lot going on. At 200 fame, while being healed, your units consume 30% less food. And then you have proliferation, which is at 500, which population reserve can hold 4 or more, and the maximum duration of your pyre is extended by 6 months. With their special relic, you can summon Garm's Incarnation, which we'll read about him down here. He's essentially a war unit, though. When purifications are burning, they heal nearby units outside combat. This effect is 50% less effective during overwork. So essentially, when you're in combat or killing things, you have a purification pyre going, and it will heal your units now. Enrollment. Wounded units are 30% less crowns to train. Most of the time, you will be getting that reduction. Pain suppressant. Wounded units move and attack 20% faster. And then you have blood ties. Ear can sacrifice part of her health to heal all your units in the zone over the next 5 seconds. And then my favorite thing with this clan, overcrowding, is where you can place 2 buildings of any type except a defense tower in a zone. Which means if you have fertile fields, you can place 2 farms, or if you have 2 lakes, you can place 2 of the fishing huts. So that's really cool and unique, and it helps with production, because you're always going to have a production reduction due to the fact that your units are injured. So anyway, so they have Ear. She pretty much when she's standing still, in a zone, she'll heal all the units in there, similar to your warrior units. They have a population reserve due to the fact that you need a building to house them. Towers are really good with this clan because that provides them with additional housing and doesn't take up a slot. Just so everyone knows that I tend to use towers a lot with this, even if I don't really need them in those zones, just to have the extra slot for a person. The shaman camp allows training of shamans. Pretty much what shamans do is they heal when they're standing still in a zone. When not fighting, shamans will divide their heal amongst all nearby allies. They can heal even outside of their territory, though less efficiently. And then you have their relic. Garm is brought back. He will relentlessly hunt for a new victim as long as the pyre is ignited, but once extinguished, the corpses will slowly go back to their original form and expire. You have the overwork, which gives a 40% bonus in production, but starts to kill your units. And then you have the purification pyre, which, while ignited, it produces more lore and increases your villagers' arrival rate. So that's the Clan of the Rat. Essentially produce a lot of units very quickly and keep having units come out. But their economy is a little less efficient, I would argue, due to the fact that you have to actually look at life, you have to look at healing, if you want to manage those things properly. On to the Clan of the Eagle. This is more of a military clan, as you guys can see. They're also a little bit of a support clan, but I would argue they're pretty much a military clan. They have aviaries instead of scouting camps. They train falconeers. Falconeers are really good, and aviaries are very good because they give you buried caches, which are extremely important for this clan. It will give you a huge advantage if you're using your falconeers properly. You start with 1 hawk. They turn a cleared zone into a boneyard, providing natural resource from the zone and healing your units. So you would, if you go and you send a military unit into a zone, say against a wolf, right? You killed a wolf, your unit survives. If you leave that unit in that zone, whether you own it or not, it will slowly heal over time. So that's really good for early colonization, because you can go take a zone, not have a healer's hut up even, and still be able to get a little healing for your military units. Aviaries require no building slots and increase the maximum number of hawks you can send on a boneyard. You also gain no fame for colonizing new zones. They are nomadic tribes, so units outside their territory consume 30% less food. Zones can be upgraded using food. In upgraded zone, houses give +1 population, and military buildings give +1 warband. At 500, your ruined shipwrecks and all special zones can be explored 1 more time, and you gain additional resources for it. It is also possible to reclaim a colonization bonus from a zone that already gave one. This is just a weird fame upgrade in my opinion, because it's like, okay, now you get more for exploring, but at this point in the game, most of the time these things already have been explored, and it's just not that useful in my opinion. It almost would have made more sense for them to swap this to the front and then put this one on the bottom, but that's just my opinion on it. Buried caches become forbidden buried caches. When you open one, you gain a +2% to attack bonus for all your military units, and it goes up to a maximum of 10. And they also give a additional attack bonus when you're opening forbidden cache and your military units are in the zone. But most of the time you're not going to be in a zone with a forbidden cache all the time, so that's just a weird upgrade as well. The 10% just for opening caches though is good. Their tech tree is Falconeers gain the ability watch keeping. Falconeer deploys their hawk to collect all the natural resources from a zone, and Griff can also call hawk into combat to deal additional damage essentially. You have Blood Eagle. Falcons protect allied units in boneyards, and they blind enemies that are in there, making them miss for 2 seconds. Griff has +1 happiness for your population, and +1 happiness for each neutral or allied zone adjacent to your territory with no hostile units. And then you have Boneyard effect is applied to enemy decolonized zones. All your hawks gather resources from enemy production buildings in the zone. So what this does is when you attack the territory, the effect that you get that heals you and all that after you clear it will happen when you decolonize the enemy as well. That's a nice little bonus to have, because again, it just provides you with healing and stuff, but you have to be victorious, so that's something to think about. And then you have foraging. You gain 60% more resources from wolf dens, fox burrows, and draugr tombs. And I will say this is similar to the scavenging fame bonus you get, but you can get it first thing, and that makes sense to me. Like, give me 60% more resources, boom, clicked. Now if I want to clear wolf dens with fox burrows and draugrs, I can do so, and I get the bonus immediately, whereas this is just weird. Anyways, the special leader here is Griff. She really doesn't do anything. She's just special in name and appearance. You have hawks, you have aviaries, you have falconeers, which are your explorers. You have caches, which give you extra resources. You have forbidden caches if you get the relic. And you get access to boneyards and loot pouches. So, pretty strong clan overall for offensive strikes. They're interesting due to the aviaries and their whole playstyle, but they, in my opinion, are a very military-centric clan. The fact that it even says they offer support to me is kind of weird. I think most of their focus is military, personally. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos about the clans of Northgard. We have probably one more to go. I'm going to try to do the last 4 together, see if I can get it under 20 minutes for you guys. Out of these 3 clans, my favorite one is probably the Squirrel clan, honestly. Although I don't hate the rat, but it took me a while to even be able to play them like efficiently. And the eagle is cool, but I think they just have some weird stuff going on with their fame, with the scavenging, and I don't know. They're very military focused, and I like econ most of the time when I play. So I like to have a stable economy first, and then focus on combat. So most clans that are pure combat, I tend to not like as much. Anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Tell me what you think about these clans. Tell me what you think about the game if you've been playing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. We're almost done. See you guys there. Later.